Dun, 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 dun. Is this live? I have no idea. Let's have a look. Is it? Is it? Go, just right. Somebody, no, that side. Somebody let me know if this is actually live, because I always just wonder if I'm just sitting here talking mince by myself. So, if it is, pop a comment, let me know, and I'll just push some more buttons and hope that stuff's happening. See, now people are saying, where is Todd? And now I'm panicking. What's going on? I'm live! Right. Good afternoon. Hi guys, Todd here. Vlog? No, not a vlog. Right. Yesterday we had my first one. I'm doing a little series of live reviews, and it's for squonkers that have landed on my doorstep in the past few days. This is very much winging it. It's live, and I always worry that it's going to be an absolute train wreck, but then you should be used to that if you've watched my reviews in the past. Now, as far as chat goes, chat is there. I will, until the end, I will be pretty much ignoring that. You can whitter away to your heart's content and do as many Monty Python references as you like. But I will pretty much be doing what I normally do, is just a review. But I will go to chat at the end, so if you have any questions, if there's anything you want to know about the device, please keep them for the end. And if you see anybody moaning about anything, just tell them to sling their hook. Really not interested. But this one is, yes, everybody's telling me I'm live. This one is going to be for the Druga. This is from Augvape, and I was handed this at Expo. Now, this is only £35. £35, and that is including the dripper as well. Now, this is the dripper. I'm not really going to get into because it's just a 22mm version of the one that was already out. I'll show you it in the close-ups, but most people will have seen it. But this is pretty much how you'll get it as well if you buy it. I don't know what I did with the packaging, but I think I lost it. But the only packaging there was a little bit of paper round about here. That was it. And there was a little bit of paper inside it, but I'll cover that as we go along. So before we go in for close-ups, just have a quick look at chat. 2 plus 2. I shouldn't have looked at chat. I really shouldn't have looked at chat. They're out. Refresh your page. 2 plus 2 is 4 minus 1 is 3. Quick math. You blocked me on Facebook for a joke comment. If I blocked you on Facebook, if that's the one about the plastic box joke, drop me an email. Remind me what your name is and I'll unblock you. You never said it was a joke, so there you go. Right. Close-ups. Should we do close-ups? I need a light on, and pop that under there, and we'll hit this button here and hopefully have some. Actually, before we go for close-ups, no, bugger it, let's go for it. Focus, damn you. Right, so we have a little Druga. Now all the dimensions and everything for this will be in the close-ups, and what I'm going to do is, if you give me just a second, I'm going to turn off the autofocus. I'm going to turn that off so that this kind of works better. There we go, we'll fix it there. Right, save that, boom, done. Right, quick look at this. So there's the ATI here. I'll just pull that off. So it's a standard Druga. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, see, this is all out of focus. There we go. 2-post affair. See my nasty coil in there. It's just a single coil. We'll wipe this off. Got all this gold plating going on as usual. And so it's a dual coil, but you can run it as a single coil. You've got these big knurled nuts here, so you just undo them, chuck your coil in, and boof, away you go. I really have no complaints with this little ATI. I'll cover it all in detail once we go back up top, but I'll just pop that back on there. Well, I'll put it out of the way, and I'll just wipe all this e-liquid off my hands. And we'll get you to this. So, the Druga. Now this is a polycarbonate ABS box, or plastic. It's a plastic box, as somebody said earlier. No. If you're used to 3D printing, then you'll know about ABS. You know, if you were going to print yourself a box, you would do it in ABS. It's the best material for it. But just taking the door off here, and you can see that we've got the standard internals going on in there. Now, just for a comparison, there it is next to the Athena, so you get an idea of the size. So it's a little bit smaller than the Athena, and just to put it next to another mod, so there's a Molly there, and you get an idea of the sizes there once again. And I get getting covered in e-liquid. Right, so we've got an Ultim button here, and it does have quite a deep throw on it. You do have to give it a good old push to, you know, get it to fire. So if you like, I mean, that's how far you have to give it a push, and it is quite stiff as well. It's not bad, it really isn't bad, but it's just, I like a really short, light throw, but that's just me being a fussy old sod. Obviously we have the logo going on here. Upside down, Mr. Todd. There we go. Augvape down here. Nothing in the bottom. And it kind of feels like, remember the Vapor Sharks? Remember the Vapor Sharks used to have, the old Vapor Sharks used to have that like rubberized coating? Well, it kind of feels like that. It feels like plastic, don't get me wrong, but it's not bad actually. Now up the top we do have, you know, we've got silver contacts supposedly going on here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a picture. Now that's a picture I took earlier on when I took it to bits. So that's your contacts in there. Now one thing that is missing is a spring. There is no spring going on there. The thing with this 510 is that there is movement in it, but it's not spring loaded. It is purely, if you look back at that picture again, I'll just show you that. See that little black piece, that little silicon piece? Well, they said it's silica. Well, the thing is, that is your adjustment. So you screw your atty down and you've got a little bit of give in that. It's not the best method, it's not spring loaded or anything, it's just that little bit of silica that's round that pipe. That's it, that's all you've got. So take the door off, and you know, you've got 3 magnets there. The squonky hole, no issues, you know, I can get my thumb in there, no problem at all. Excuse me, I'm dying. Battery, take that out. So there's your contacts there. Now they say they are silver contacts, and do you know, I don't really have any issue. There's quite a, not a loose fit, but you know, you're not going to damage your battery wraps, or I have not damaged any battery wraps throwing them in and out of here. So I'm quite happy about that one. This bottle comes with it. They say it holds 8 ml of juice. Get out of it. It's, for those of you that know the Mod Maker bottles, it's just a little bit stiffer than a Mod Maker bottle. It's not bad. I don't have any issues with it, and it just comes with the one bottle. It's not leaked either, I'll let you know that. Contacts, you know, that contact plate there will pull out. It's not a hassle, you know, it's just held in by this little black tab down the bottom here, and the whole thing will just pull out. Then it starts getting a bit strange. So you can see so there's your contact there, firing away, no problem. But this nut here, it doesn't tighten. It doesn't tighten off. It just moves about all the time. So the bit of paper that came with it states that you have to make sure that you've got a flat contact. But the problem is, when you put your atty on, this thing actually moves about when you're screwing your atty on and off. I want to I get my atty back together. let's put some that there, and it probably won't do it this time. See that? See, it's moving. So every time you put your atty on and off, you have to make sure that you make that the flat edge is actually making contact. It's a bit of a pain. The other thing is, and I'll cover this more in detail at the end, is that when I got this, and I'm not the only one, other people have commented on it as well. I know Richard Vaping V1CK was talking to me earlier about it. You will get, it's not going to happen now. Oh, don't know if you'll be able. No, you will get arcing, but I'll cover that more once we go back up top. So that's it. That really is it for the close-ups. I mean, it's just a little squonker, a little mech squonker. Right, back up top, he says. Okay. Who have we got? Oh, lots of chat going on. What have I been missing? Who's been cheeky? Who's been miserable? Right. For this, now, one thing to point out, and I want to make this really clear before I get into the nitty gritty, is that this is £35 for an atty and a mech squonker. £35. There's you know, you would pay that for an RDA and a lot more. So I'm not cutting it slack. I'm not saying anything actually, but I just want to remember that it's only £35. Now, for me, I'll start off with the atty. I'll keep this kind of brief. Didn't have any issues with it. I can get a decent enough vape from it. The only thing I find is that the walls on the atty are really, really thin. I mean, it's got to be the thinnest walls I've ever seen on any RDA, and because of that, and I know that I shouldn't moan about this all depends on your build and how you vape and so on. I find it gets hot quicker than my other RDAs, and it also retains that heat for some time afterwards, and that's the only point of note that I have for the RDA. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm pretty sure it's an 810 up the top, kind of looks like it, but quick vape. There we go. It's not bad. It's not a bad vape at all. Now, as I said in the close-ups, the throw on the button, it does have quite a long throw on it, but it's got a nice resistance to it. But if you like a really light throw, then you're not going to like this one so much. It is kind of stiff. I mean, I'm probably, if I was to keep this, I would stick a little bit of backing tape on the button itself to shorten the throw, but that's just something I would do. And once again, I'm just going to mention this because I see it mentioned in chat. Clones. This is a no clone talk. None. Zero. If you're going to talk about clones, go somewhere else. I thank you very much. The box, I mean, the box does have flex in it. I can squeeze that, and if I squeeze it in the middle, the whole thing flexes. But that's just the material that it's made from. It does, and to be honest, because the walls are so thin on it, and because of the material, it gives it a cheap feeling. But I'll take you back to the whole £35 thing. But it does give it that nasty thing going on. Contacts, batteries going in and out, no problem. The whole spinning nut thing, that does my head. I just do not see, why is it not fixed? Why doesn't it tighten off and just stay in place? I don't get that. I don't understand why it's like that, but it is. When I first got this, and I had 0.2 ohm build on this for most of the time, it was arcing really badly. I mean, I was getting a lot of sparks going on in there. The more I've been using it as the weeks gone on, the arcing has died down. Arcing always happens, you're always going to get it. You might not see it, but it's still going to be there. It's not good at the start and it will freak some people out. But once again, just take the nut off, unscrew the nut, make sure, get a nice clean cloth and clean it up, make sure it's spotlessly clean, and that will help. And as I said, the arcing for me has died off as the week has gone on. Also, the lower the build, the more you're actually going to see it as well. Inside the box, I don't really have anything else. I told you about the bottle, it's a bit on the stiff side, not too stiff. And that's really going to be about me on this box. What I'll do is we'll go to chat. If you have any questions, please post them in chat now and I will answer them if you have anything. So, yes, Jeff Schwartz hates it when his nut spins. Yes, and it's an extra £14 for the Athena. Well, the Athena with the RDA in the UK when I reviewed it was about £60. So I don't know about that. I don't know. Does the nut get hot in yours after use? At the start when it was arcing badly, yes it did. But now down the line it's not. Giving it a clean. It's a negative. No, it's actually a positive. But it's a negative point. And there's no getting away with that. If you're not happy with that whole arcing thing, then go and buy something else. I would say that now. There's just something about that nut. It just, and I could be wrong, it doesn't make a firm connection because it's just spinning all the time. And I don't know if it's related to that or not. I'm not a guru and that kind of thing, but just to say. Chunkmeister, you're... It looks like the Frankenskull. Congratulations, it's a mech mod, Squonker. Have I had a chance to check out the Pulse yet? No, I haven't. Price aside from Dennis, he's saying, would it be this or the Athena? If money was no object, if I was given them for free, which I did, it would actually come down to weight. Because the Athena is, no, there's bugger all weight in it, to be perfectly honest. There's hardly any weight in it at all. And this has got a battery in it. Me personally, I would go for the Athena. The reason I would go for the Athena is also because it has a locking switch, which this does not. This does not have a locking switch. The other thing I'm going to mention is that because these are getting so cheap now, for this setup it's so cheap, please, in the description for the video there is a site called steamengine.org. Go along. You want to build to your battery. Don't go throwing in crazy builds into these things. Go and do your research. Go to that website I've just listed. See what battery you've got. And it will tell you how low you can build on it. And it's not a competition. You don't have to build that low. Also, when you're using a mechanical squonker, remember you're going to get something like 4.1 volts at the start, and then the voltage is going to drop so that the vape will get weaker as you go on. Just in case you didn't know that. David is saying minimise arcing by vaping properly with a 1.6 ohm build and a 14mm ATI. Yeah, as I said, he's got a good point. You know, the higher the resistance in the coil, the less arcing you're going to see. Chunkmeister's saying what he meant was it doesn't look like a heavyweight box. Maybe he should have been clearer. Now, you got a good point there actually, and I'll give you that one. It's nothing like a proper Frankenskull. It's nothing like it. It's very similar in feel and quality to the Frankenskull clone, which is very flimsy and feels like shit. Did I just say that? I did just say that. Oops. Kenneth's Tutorials, are you looking at the new Sigeli Fukai Squonker? Yes, I am. I've got that here. And I'm going to, please, if you keep your questions to this device. I don't want to go on too long. Don't build too low on a plastic squonker, the heat might melt the box. This is ABS. Quite frankly, 0.2, I wouldn't go any lower than that on any of these plastic ABS boxes and so on. 0.2 should be it. Just going to scroll back up in the chat here. I am. How's the weather? It's not related to the box. Do you think the SQ little square buttons would fit or work? The signature SQ. They're very similar, actually. But the guy I spoke to at Augvape at Expo did say that they were going to release other buttons and other doors. So that would be good if they did. Silence. Never have silence in a video. Never have silence. The only other thing that I didn't comment again is that the spring-loaded thing, or the lack of a spring-loaded 510. The way that that's working with that little piece of silica. In all fairness, every ATI that I've put on this has fired. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 RDAs that I've tried on this, right across the market, all different types, and they've all fired and they've all sat flush. So whilst I don't think it's a great thing that it's set up like this, it works. It actually works. Tony Price says, out of 10, Todd, what would you rate it? I don't do scoring systems. That's Jay Hayes. That's who you need for that one. Andrew Law says, it's not bad, usually means it's average and not good. Right, honestly, I mean, and I would say this in a normal review as well, for the price I think this is actually good. For the price I think it's good. I think it's average outside that. That kind of makes sense. And that spinning nut, that just does my head in. That really does. And also the arcing is just bum. Another thing, a locking nut, a solution to the spinning nut. Do you know what I would like to try? And I don't... No, it's not. I can actually see it already. I was going to see if a mod maker nut would actually fit onto that. But it looks like it's totally different threading. It's actually thicker threading that's on it. Robert Sands is saying, if your ATI doesn't sit flush, could you change the insulator? Well, it does sit flush. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, I've got, do you want to call it a competition RDA with quite a deep or quite a big 510 pin on it, and it sits flush. So, I really shouldn't say this, and I'm going to say it anyway. If you wanted to, you could probably fit a mod maker 510 on there as well. The other thing to point out is that anything bigger than a 22mm RDA will not fit on top. It will overhang on either side. It looks super cheapo from Andrew Law. Yes, it's £35. Take it apart, Todd. Fix it. No. Not today. This is just supposed to be a quick hit video. I've been going for 23 minutes already. It's far too long. It's far too long. Before I go, does it look like it's possible to swap out the 510? Says David. Yes, it does. It does. I've already, you saw the photo of the nut. I've already had it in bits, but I didn't want to do that during the live section. We're going to go now. Before I go, I'm going to say this because it's worth a go. You never know. I'm doing a charity raffle just now, and you can win a Narda and you can win a Squonker as well. Go and check out the video, and that's it. Listen, thank you to the guys at Augvape for giving this to me at Expo. I'm sure there will be lots of other reviews coming along and a lot more detailed reviews, but as always, this is just, how much time can you spend on it? I mean, it's just, at the end of the day, it's a plastic box with contacts in it, and they've given it their best shot, and because it includes the RDA and the price, I am cutting it some slack. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Right. Mr. Amber 84, do you think people will buy it because it's cheap and don't know Ohm's law? Then boom. That's why I pointed out the whole thing about going to steam engine. Yeah. There's no getting away from it online. You know, people can just buy these online, but brick and mortar stores, I know the store I worked in, and I'm pretty sure the guys that worked in these shops were great. They made sure that everybody that came in and bought a mechanical mod knew their Ohm's law. It was just a run-of-the-mill thing for brick and mortar stores, or the ones that I worked with. Now, I'm going to go because Dean the Vaping Biker is taking the piss out of me. Schwartzy, it was £35. David, no PowerPoint slides. Where's TJ? TJ is in the house because he's been a dick today. And guys, listen, thank you so much for coming along and just watching this today. I know that these are just quick hit videos, and it's just to save me time so that I can clear some of all these squonkers out, because as I said I wasn't going to do any more just 3D printed squonkers. I just wasn't going to do them anymore, and then all this stuff arrived. But thank you for your patience, your understanding as always, and we'll catch you later. Oh, sorry, there's a thing. Kenneth, tutorials, do they have a warning card in the box? No. The only warning card they have in the box is for the nut and to make sure it's in the correct position. There's no warning anywhere else at all. What are you going to do? Guys, as always, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye for now.